Welcome everyone to another episode of Chat, Grapple and Cheap Pops podcast. I am Chris Dredd. I'm here with my main man, JB. And this is It's a Shoot, brother. It is our news episode. It is our Shoot the Shit episode. It is Cuss People the Fuck Out episode. It is Gas People the Fuck Up episode. So here we are. How you doing, JB?
I am rocking. I am ready. This is going to be, it's always fun, but here we are again.
That's right. We're both wearing football shirts as well, funnily enough, today. Jordan's repping his team that have let him down. To be honest, I made, before we even get into it, when we were talking on via message the other day, and you said Brentford are playing Arsenal, I said, what is that, 2-0 to Brentford? Bruv, I should have had a few quid on that down at Ladbrokes. I would have been in the money, mate.
Yeah.
I didn't even, that was just an off the hip cuss Arsenal little comment. I didn't even know it would manifest itself.
I'm used to them, to be honest. And a lot of them don't play out like that. So yeah, it's quite surprising to see someone's taking the piss prediction come true. So yeah.
But I mean, it's football. Shout out to Brentford though as well. First game in the Premiership. Fucking done all right. Obviously, shout out to my team. I'm taking
that shout out straight back.
Yeah, you're taking it. No, shout
Brentford in the slightest.
Shout out to my team, Tottenham, as well, smashing Man City today, right in the pupper.
And thank you everyone for listening. This was a great show.
But anyway, we're English. We love our football, whether we win or lose. You know what I mean? It's one of them ones. Like Tottenham lose a fair bit as well, so you will have your day, Jordan. Don't worry, you'll have your day.
Let's hope so, man. Because we're not here to talk about football. We're here to talk about and like I said, we're here with, myself, JB, and the hit maker, Soul Shaker. And I'll say it again, the best Chris in all of podcasting. Take that how you will. Anyone,
bang, bang.
Exactly. I don't give a fuck. So today, you might have seen one of these episodes like this before where we just shoot the shit. We just chat about what's going on. There's so much going on. Yeah. New shows, more returns and more debuts than you can shake a stick at. And, so much of that shit to dive through and get through and have some fun with. But before we do all that, well, we have a thank you. We hit 36th in the Wrestling Apple Podcast UK charts. For some reason, these motherfuckers put us 36th in the chart.
It is a surprise to me also. But yes, you know what I mean? Big up yourselves.
Where did that come from?
Looks like we made it. I don't know, man. Like we just keep doing our shit. We keep banging the shows out. Doing our thing. People obviously seem to like us. I don't know how the analytics work on that, whether it's whether the chart is based on how many cuss words per minute are in the show.
Would have been a lot last week, yeah.
Yeah, so we should have been like top 3. But yeah. But no, we're doing it, man. It's like I say, but we don't do this for accolades, do we? We don't do this for.
I think it's based on hotness and sexiness for sure.
It's got to be, of course. Yeah, of course it is, and girth as well. What you want to look at? So, yeah, I mean, girth aside, let's get to it. But yeah, thank you for everyone for listening, watching, commenting, liking, subscribing. Facebook group's doing really well. Twitter and that, we have a nice bit of banter. Yeah, and like I say, just shout out to everyone, man. Big up yourselves.
Yeah, that's right. You know where to find us, you know where to listen to us, you know where to watch us. All the likes, all the subscribes, all the comments, all the other shit that comes with it, the following and the DMs and the I hate you guys suck and all that stuff. Like, cool.
Right.
We love it.
Right.
Let's have it.
That's right.
So little to no structure to this, because why not? Let's do it. Let's start. And I know you want to start somewhere, but I'm gonna sort of force you to start somewhere else. I'm gonna make you start with WWE.
Going in dry. Go on then. I'll gob on it. Let's go.
I know you've got a lot to say about another company, but let's go easy. Let's start slow, and let's really crank the heat up around about the time we hit Florida.
Go for it, baby. Go for it. I've got a few things to say about WWE too.
Plenty of things to say about WWE. I'm going to start with the releases.
Go for it.
Too many to name. One of the most recent and most high profile was Bray Wyatt. And to go with that as well was Ric Flair. And my problem with every set of releases is how people online and whatever start to lose their shit. And it cracks me up. It really does, because they make too much of a big deal about people that were never like gonna main event WrestleMania. We're treading water for so long. Like, case in point, and this one is just me. It's not the the brainchild of Chris and me or whatever. This is my take on it. If you lot really wanted to fucking see Matt Cardona and Tony Nese in a WrestleMania main event, you're fucking idiots. I'm sorry, but like, I've got nothing against Tony Nese or Cardona. Cardona was treading water as Zack Ryder for how long? But a lot of people treat him like he's this big star, and like, and I'll be honest, like you're having those sort of death matches with Nick Gage and all that, like, whatever, man. You're a toy collector. That's cool. Like,
wait, let's leave toy collecting out of
hey,
this.
so am I,
yeah?
but like, I'm not saying that I should be in a WrestleMania event.
Let's not attack a man for collecting, and they're action figures. They're not toys. They're action figures.
People speculated about Bray and and all this stuff, and it's like, just leave it be,
mate. Cool. I've been saying for so long about WWE. The one thing I've been saying consistently is they have too many wrestlers and they don't have enough TV time for all of them. It was inevitable that they're having to release people. They've got people, if anything, they should fucking probably release like 30% of the wrestlers they have. They need to release more people.
I did have an idea, and it could have worked during pandemic times when they were only filming in the Thunderdome. Maybe they should have had a network-only show with these guys on it, working matches, putting on good to average matches. Everyone knows Vince doesn't give a fuck about how the matches go. You just want to make sure it looks good. And these people look good.
If anything, WWE have so many wrestlers on their books. They could quite easily, under the guise of someone else owning it, open up fucking WCW again and have a completely other federation and just literally stock it with loads of stars they've already got. They've got 3 brands already, right? Absolutely chocked to the fucking rafters of stars. They've got 3, 4, 5 different championship belts in certain areas. You've got you've got the UK NXT championship, SmackDown, Raw, heavyweight championship. They've got so much. This is the problem I have with AEW. AEW don't have enough belts. They've got far too much talent as well. I watched.
I don't know.
No, they do, man. They've got because they can only. Mate, I watched an episode of fucking Dark Elevation, and it was like an episode of 1990s WWF superstars. The amount of squash matches there were in there, and it was like literally 2-minute squash matches. It's
you had one of those on Dynamite as well.
Yeah. You can only push if you've got a certain amount of TV time and a certain amount of belts. You can only push 3 or 4 people. Really, you can push.
I agree. You can't keep putting pushes on ice.
You can't.
To reheat in the microwave. Yeah.
It don't work, bro. It's not a Findus fucking lasagna.
Rustlers,
You get what I'm saying? It don't work like that, bruv. You can't reheat chicken, fam, and you can't reheat, a push that's gone cold. But WWE, for me, it's funny. Vince McMahon, when he was asked about, oh, you know, all these people that you're releasing are getting, you know, AEW are buying up talent and that, what do you think of it? He said, yeah, you know, maybe we can help them out with that. You know, Vince, think about Vince's wage bill. Think about the wage bill for these people.
This is the same Vince who, you know, he sort of helped Brett negotiate his deal with WCW. You know, told him, go and fight, go and get as much money as you can from the other company. He knows what he's doing. He's not an idiot.
Of course he's not an idiot. And ultimately, Vince doesn't give a fuck if anyone goes elsewhere. He doesn't really care. There's going to be a handful of people that he would be bothered about if he went there. And I'll break them down for you right now. Yeah?
Yeah.
Randy Orton. There's no way he's letting him go anywhere, right? John Cena. There's no way John Cena is going to let him go anywhere else, right? At this time, I would say AJ Styles is not letting him go anywhere else. You know, what was it? Seth Rollins. There's no way he's letting Seth go anywhere. And at this time, probably Kevin Owens is probably not letting him go anywhere.
No, you mentioned Roman.
Oh, Roman, but that's a given. Roman's not going nowhere. You know, I'll eat my penis if he goes to AEW. That's how, you know.
That is our soundbite, yeah.
That's how, you know. But there's no way Roman Reigns is going to AEW. They don't have the not now anyway. I mean, who knows where we're going to be in 10 years' time? But Roman Reigns is the guy. You know, he's unfireable at this point. He can pretty much say what he wants. He's said a few things that were taken maybe in a certain way, but even he then turned around and said, look, no one said nothing to me. You know, it might have upset a few people, but what are they going to do? Sack me? You know, of course they're not. He's the man. You know, he can pretty much get away with murder at the moment. You know, he's not going anywhere. So Roman's a given. That's why I didn't put him in the five. I mean, anyone who thinks Roman Reigns is going to AEW is a straight dickhead.
See all those pictures, so-and-so is all elite. Oh, my God.
Oh, mate, don't, brother. Let's not, brother, because we'll
get there.
We'll get to that. But yeah, WWE, the releases, ultimately, either they need to create a whole nother federation brand or whatever and build it up with wrestlers they've got, or they need to get rid of more. They need to cut the wheat from the chaff. They've got a lot of people, like you say, that will never main event WrestleMania, and they're mid-card at best. And my hot take, the guy from NXT that was released recently, and everyone, you know, the Australian guy, New Zealand guy, what's his name?
Oh, the big guy. You're going by Jonah now, but yeah.
Talking
about, yeah.
Bruv.
Yeah.
For me, he never...
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Bronson Reed. He never done nothing for me, bruv. He never done nothing for me. I'd watch him.
I thought he could go.
He can move. Yeah, no, he can move. But for me, he never had that kind of superstar quality. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's a big man and he can move fairly well, but I didn't like I didn't like the way he was dressed. I didn't think that was flattering to him at all. I think they could have worked on his gimmick a little bit more. Not to say in the future that they might not have him back and try, but the thing is, I'm not putting the blame on the wrestlers for being released or whatever, you know, and or for them not seeing the possibility for them in the future. But I do think the mechanisms in WWE are not really conducive to people having their own say. But then you've got, on the other hand, some people saying, look, you need to go to them and say, this is what I want to do. You need to bug the shit out of them. You need to keep pushing, and not just take what they're giving. You get what I'm saying? If you just keep taking what they're given, I think Vince and whoever's in control just sees you as a bit of a pussy, and that you'll just, you know, you just do whatever creative gives you. But you've got to make chicken soup out of chicken shit, you know, and some people do and some people don't, and some people just kind of mediocre. There's a lot of, to quote the Big Lebowski, there's a lot of ins, there's a lot of outs, there's a lot of what have yous. It's not as straight cut as oh, creative done them dirty, or, you know, they didn't really elevate themselves. It's a very complicated thing. I mean, being signed by WWE, working in that environment with all the writers and all the creatives and being in that kind of world, you've really got to have fucking cojones. You've got to just say, no, I'm not doing that, or you've got to believe in yourself. And if you've got an idea for yourself, you just got to keep pushing and telling them, you know, and if it don't work, sometimes it don't work. I mean, Moxley came out and did that interview after he left and AEW started up and said, look, you know, they kept coming at me with this stupid shit and I kept doing it and trying to make it in, getting over and over, you know. And some people say that Vince doesn't like people who get over without being pushed. I mean, I don't know how true that is. Like, he kind of takes it as, oh, they think they can fucking go.
I think it's more stubborn than anything else. It's kind of like, you know, Daniel Bryan going as being as over as he was, you know, around the time of WrestleMania 30 and stuff like that. Like, must have been tough because he wasn't the guy they wanted to push. It was meant to be Batista. It was meant to be, you know, Batista and Orton in the main event, not Bryan, Batista and Orton in the main event. And I'm sure it frustrates because it's not his plan. It's not what they originally wrote. But if something organically happens, they should run with it. Don't
100%. And that is
Baron Corbin right now.
Yeah,
as a, you know, being broke and all this stuff, and it's funny. It's good.
But that is another problem as well with WWE. They do try and force stuff down people's throats, and yes, that is a problem. They don't often. They're a bit tone deaf to things that are happening organically. Sometimes they just don't want to hear it, or they don't.
I will segue the words tone deaf into something else very soon, but let's keep going. Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it's a very complicated issue. You know, I was upset when they got rid of Billy Kay and Peyton Royce because I thought them breaking the tag team up was something that was going to, you know, and I thought that Billy Kay was doing really well. You know, she was doing the cold.
But we you know, only recently heard. I'll apologize because I don't remember who. It might have been Chris Van Vliet's show, but Peyton said it was her idea to break the team up, and I've got to be honest, it was a fucking stupid idea.
But this is the thing. This is when keeping it real goes wrong. Yeah, like when if you have an idea and you fucking jump the shark like that. That's maybe why that, you know, if she did go to him and say, yeah, maybe she thought she was bigger than she was and she wanted to go solo, you know, she thought she was fucking Jerry Halliwell or something, you know what I mean?
Trying to breaking up Enzo and Cass.
You get what I'm saying, bruv? You know, it's one of them ones like shit, and maybe she shit her own pants then, you know, so fuck it. Maybe they thought she had a stupid idea, you know, let's not get it twisted. She did have a good promo when she was on, you know, and she had a good promo when she was going after, but yeah, maybe she shit her own pants and they just looked at it and thought, well, that was your fucking idea, pretty stupid. You know, Billy Kay was doing better out of the two, I thought, after the split, comedy wise and character wise. You know, so it's really fucking difficult, man. It's not as easy as just to say, oh, fucking hell, WWE is stupid. No, they're not stupid. They're really not. And it's not easy. Like all these fucking armchair bookers and armchair owners sitting at home, like, you know, with carpal tunnel syndrome from, you know, playing with their mouse too much, you know, or doing something else too much. But yeah, like, you know, it's, you know, all these armchair bookers thinking they could do better. You can't. Yeah. It's not an easy thing. Obviously, you're going to, some of their ideas that they're doing WWE, they're doing well, and some of them they're shit the bed. You know, it goes either way. Not every decision they make is going to be a good one, but not every decision they're making is a bad one. You know, so it is what it is.
I have a question for you regarding SmackDown. John Cena being back, good thing or a bad thing? Bearing in mind, he won't be around forever, and he destroys Roman on the mic every time. Like, this doesn't look good for your champion, does it?
No,
since like they first got in the ring together years back on Raw, and Roman forgot a couple of lines, and Cena just ruined it. Like, how many more times can you keep seeing this and you start to think, well, actually, this guy's a bit of a chode. He can't, get himself over on a promo. But
yeah, having someone shit on your champion like that lyrically is never going to be a good look, fam. It's never.
I would have rather him gone head to head with Paul Heyman just for promos and then have Roman just punch him in the mouth.
Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily think it's always a good look to bring these guys back. I mean, I wasn't a fan of Edge coming back. I really wasn't. I don't. I mean, and what have we got from it? Ultimately, what have we gained?
We had a decent main event with Roman, didn't we? Somewhere.
Meh.
The WrestleMania match didn't cut for me. Like, I didn't enjoy it. Like,
I didn't enjoy. No, I didn't enjoy the Royal Rumble that Edge won. I thought it was poor. I think it was really
bad. Like, you can pop anyone with a good return.
Yeah, easy. That's the low hanging fruit, fam. But his performance in the his performance in the Royal Rumble was meh. It was mediocre.
Yeah.
It's just that nostalgia boner that they're giving a certain demographic that to see Edge,
and Cena, yeah,
and Cena. It's that nostalgia boner that they're giving a certain demographic.
And Goldberg,
mate.
I loved Goldberg in the 90s, man. Like, don't get that
Don't
twisted.
get it. Yeah.
WCW Goldberg from 97 through to about 99 is the shit. It's so good to watch. You can go back and watch it anytime and not hate it. Like, some of the stuff where he's beating, Barry Darso in like fucking a minute and a half, or he's smashing up the Renegade or whoever. Like, it's all amazing shit. But yeah, you're whacking him in with Lashley, your champion. It's like, he really that bereft of fucking challengers on Raw.
Well, yeah. This is the thing. That is your answer. Yes, they are. They are really struggling to create stars in WWE anymore. Look at all the guys that are there or thereabouts on the top. They've been around for donkey's years. Randy Orton, Bobby Lashley.
No, I'm not shitting on Orton. I think Orton's great. So.
Orton's great, but how old is he?
Pass. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got to be 40. He's got to be.
Yeah, probably.
And this is the thing.
Kingston just turned 40 like the other day. Like,
they need. They really need to. There is a problem in WWE. Okay, there is a problem, and the problem is the better. It seems like the better wrestling product was in NXT, right? If you're looking at wrestling specifically, yes. The better kind of story work and that was SmackDown, right? So you've got to look at a happy medium. I'm reading that Vince is actually a huge fan of Cole, right? And he's looking to probably push him up to one of the main rosters, probably SmackDown, I would say. I mean, that's one person that they don't really want him to go to AEW. That would be a loss. That really would. Adam Cole in AEW would be a fucking great get. But again, what's he gonna do in AEW?
Oh, it's fresh, isn't it? There's plenty of matchups. I'm sure eventually he'll lose to Cody, but
yeah, But then but this is the thing. It's for me. WWE has just got more stuff that people can do. They can push more people because they've got more brands. They've got more time. And yes, AEW has got Rampage now. and you know they've got Dynamite and Rampage, and they've got Dark and Elevation, and that pushing their new guys. Oh, bro, just a quick one about AEW. How shit is fucking Mark Henry on commentary, bro?
Oh, yeah. It's a bit of a damp squib, isn't it? Really, like
it is, but. This goes to my point as well. Why did they even sign Big Show? Why did they sign Mark Henry?
It looks like it's finally figured out why they've signed Big Show, but we'll get to that.
I mean,
Rampage's 4-man booth is terrible. There's no bones about it. It's too many people. Probably, I would say too many people. 3-man booths aren't always great. Some can get by. But yeah, what is it? Excalibur, Taz, Jericho, Henry. Oh boy, that's a lot.
It's a circle jerk, bruv. It's a fucking circle jerk.
A lot of voices to get into.
There's a lot of voices. You can't create a narrative in the commentary that people can follow. It just seems like larking about. You get what I'm saying?
Four people can't tell a story.
No, they can't. It's too diluted. Like they're just having a laugh.
Which is fine. Yeah. You know, nothing wrong with that. But do it on Elevation. Do it when nobody's listening.
Yeah, but I mean,
don't do it on your brand new TV show.
That's right. Make it like. It's so difficult, man, because I mean, look behind me. You know, I've got my AEW bits and bobs. There's other AEW stuff that I have. I just wanted to show people that I'm not shitting on AEW because I dislike them or I want them to do badly or whatever. It's just you call stuff out that you don't think is very good, and we do that even with WWE. We've just sat here for 20 minutes, 25 minutes digging out WWE and its problems, and it does have problems, but not everything is a shit the bed, and not everything is
you're right. Not
sun shining out your ass.
Not everything is a shit the bed. So let's move on and let's talk about the Acclaimed and Max Caster for a minute. Sorry,
do it. Let's do it.
We're not shitting on it. Let's talk about Max and the Acclaimed and what happened there. Nobody has officially come out and said whether he's suspended or not for what has gone on. I don't know, like he comes out on, what's it, Dark on YouTube, does one of his raps. It offended a lot of people. It didn't click with me. I didn't think it was a good rap. I don't think he's that good anyway, but as a rapper, sorry, let me have that as a thing. What I know Jim Cornette had his say on it. My take, for what it's worth, and nobody gives a fuck about what I've got to say on this, but
I do. The
editor should have been fucking canned.
100%.
They had plenty of time to get rid of that clip. It wasn't even a good promo. Like I said, it wasn't brilliant, but someone would have watched that back. Some idiot would have watched it back and gone, "Oh yeah, just let it go. It's cool. Yeah, good one. Nice one, Max." Like, no, fuck off. Like, it's if anyone with a fucking bit of sense or a brain would have gone, "Yeah, that's too close to the mark, mate. We can't have that. We're gonna cut it this week, and we're gonna get rid of it." Unless someone with an agenda wanted that to go out there and get rid of Max, or
fucking stick by your decision to keep it in and just say, "Look, we understand that it might have offended, but this is the thing. This is my take, okay? AEW will fuck up by trying to be too woke, I think, okay? Because you can't please everybody, and you might as well not bother trying, right? If you've got a heel who's coming out saying heel shit to upset people, you can't then shit on him when what he says upsets people. If you're trying to bring some kayfabe back and get real heat, you've got to let people off the leash and let them say shit that's going to piss people off. My hot take is I wasn't bothered by what he said personally, because I actually thought it's someone getting some real heat. He said some shit that upset some people, like, you know, all right, you know, I mean, but you know, you could look at it and go, oh yeah, you know, he was saying stuff about Biles and, you know, but it wasn't like directly shitting on her. It was like, it was just saying, you know, making these people claim mental health.
It was a hot topic.
It was a hot topic, but it was in the now, you know, and even the Duke lacrosse thing, it was actually came out that it was a false accusation and it was a non-story anyway. Yeah. So even that wasn't even a rape joke. You get what I'm saying? So it's one of them things where either you want to push the envelope, like AEW say they're trying to push the envelope and be different and let their people off the leash to say whatever they're going to say or whatever, you know, either you're going to do that and then stick by it and say, what, you know, fucking hell, all right, he upset some people, but AEW always tries to be too woke, I think. Like
in their wokeness, making jokes about Julia Hart's vag, you're crossing the woke line, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's right. Of course you are.
That's them trying to be woke. Like if they want to be woke, but stay on the woke side.
That's right. You can't. Yeah. You can't dip your toe in and out, and then. But personally, this is what I'm saying. Like, who was the executive producer on that?
I don't know.
Tony Khan, possibly. Who's the executive producer?
Well, yeah. TK came out and said that he normally would go over the raps and give Max his bullet points and would, you know what was going on. But for some reason on Dark, he's clueless.
I don't buy it.
I genuinely think, and this has happened to people before, you know, with people having microphones left on and all of a sudden making it out to, you know, news stations and stuff. Someone might have had a problem. This isn't me being a conspiracy guy. This is me saying, you've seen it enough times before. Someone's left that in for Max to get in trouble. So they could have just chopped it and said, no, can't use it. And it'll never see the light of day. In any world, you can still get away with that sort of thing. It wasn't live. You could have cut it, done and dusted, it's gone. But instead, someone has left that in and they've let Max take the heat. You know, has he been suspended? No one said anything official. Normally, when things like this go down, you know, Sammy Guevara was publicly put on, you know, what was it now?
He had to go sensitivity
training.
Sensitivity training.
That was very public. It was very, you know, it was out there. Like Max Caster has deleted everything, whether or not he's working at people or what, you know, that's fine. You know, do your thing, shoot.
I hope he is. I hope he's working everyone.
But
bring kayfabe back. Honestly, there's too much people like us. We know too much, bruv. We know too much. These fucking the rag sheets, brother. The rag sheets, brother. The dirt sheets. They know too much, or they think they know too much about what's going on.
You see some of the donkey shit they come out with at the minute,
bruv. I mean, even for me. Like the whole CM Punk Daniel Bryan going to AEW thing is just played out and it's pissing me off now. CM Punk ain't never going AEW, bruv. It's not happening. Sit down. Shut up. Yeah? It's not happening.
Let's stop you right there. What is giving you that vibe that says that CM Punk isn't going? Because he's making a lot of even as recently on he was commentating on some MMA thing, possibly last night or the night before, Saturday night, might have even been Friday night. There was a little bit of wrestling in this fight, you know, not like pro wrestling, like your amateur wrestling. And he said, "Oh, the guy's all elite." He's making these sort of jokes.
He's working everyone, bruv. He's just adding fuel to the fire, bruv. All of this fucking shit. When you're looking at pictures of the elite and one of them's wearing a Cookie Monster t-shirt and they're like, oh, Cookie Monster, CM, that's CM Punk. That means he's going there. Fuck off, you dickheads. Like, do you know what I mean?
Too far.
Fuck off, bruv. It's like, you know, I honestly, bruv, like these people need to actually like, stop. Just stop, bruv. Just stop. Look, try and, can we have some kind of sense of surprise back in wrestling? You know, like
surprise would be that CM Punk strolls out on WWE TV.
But bruv, Do not put it past Vince for that to happen, bruv.
I think Vince would have to dig deep into those pockets. But
yeah, but CM Punk's already appeared on WWE TV more recently, just before
on Fox.
On Fox, which is directly affiliated with it. And he came out and he got a pop and he was doing stuff with that. Like, let's not get it twisted, bruv. Not everybody wants to go to AEW, and not everybody would really be suited there. Everyone's talking about dream matches.
It doesn't surprise me that if Danielson goes, or Brian, or whatever you want to call him, like,
bruv,
that doesn't. It doesn't surprise me, and it doesn't hit that hard, to be honest. It doesn't pop that guy goes there. You know, it just it's like, yeah, you were a big star around WrestleMania 30. You had your big night, you know, the whole thing, champion, you know, massive crowd support, all of that stuff, organically brilliant. But more recently, you dropped off.
But again,
my interest in Daniel Bryan in WWE towards the end was floor. I didn't care. Like, it was, he's in. Why is he in this triple threat? Why is he in this match at WrestleMania? I just didn't care. I didn't want him to be in it. I just had there was no value in Daniel Bryan at this point for me. So if he turns up in AEW, it's not going to be, he'll get a pop because, you know, the wrestling fans and all that, they love him and what have you. But it doesn't hit for me. It doesn't hit.
He'll have to be careful because we know how dodgy their referees are when people fucking get knocked out. And concussions, bruv. Real talk. Am I lying though?
Yeah, I mean, between that and referees trying to get themselves over and stuff, you know, it's like,
bruv, you know, it's one of them ones. Like there was a time when Daniel Bryan, they said he weren't never going to wrestle again.
Yeah.
Because of how many serious concussions he'd had, you know. It's again, you know, you can. On one hand, the AEW fans.
How many of these WWE guys can go to AEW? Seriously, how many?
Exactly.
Plowing into it and getting a match for a week and taking on Miro or Lance Archer, losing, and then be like, right, now they're just another guy.
Exactly. Because they don't have, again, look back on our previous episodes of what I've said before. AEW does not have currently the infrastructure in their programming or their rosters to accommodate guys like CM Punk and like Daniel Bryan to do anything decent with them, let alone the talk of Ric Flair going there. You know, it's one of them ones like, you know, yes, they'll hot shot some ratings, you
17 times, baby, it's coming.
But I'm there for Flair.
We said it even a couple of weeks ago. 17 times when he rolls up Kenny or gets him in a schoolboy or a small package or something.
Yeah,
the place will go nuts and
That's
it'll
right.
be hilarious.
Of course it will.
174-year-old world champion.
Let's be fair. No, be fair to Flair, bro. Be fair to Flair. You know, we love Rick on this show, bro. You know what I mean? We love Ric Flair. You know, and that's one. I mean, can you imagine Ric Flair versus Sting on AEW? Hot shot that rating. Fucking, I'm there for that, bro.
Curiosity rating would be through the roof.
Absolutely.
How slow it would move, but
you know, it's a good time for wrestling, but also it's a bad time for wrestling. We're on a knife edge with wrestling at the moment because there's a lot of possibilities of good things happening, but it just seems like there's a lot of wankers and dickheads who are in charge of these companies. So you've got people that are kind of the speedboats driving, but there's someone who doesn't really know what they're doing. So they're going 120 miles an hour, but they don't really know what they're doing. Like WWE definitely needs to switch up in the higher echelons so they can start being a bit more creative. The workers can have a bit more input and they can do things a bit more organically rather than shoving gimmicks and stuff down their throat.
I just had like flashback to Hawk and Animal talking about a high-speed train, like with no driver, like
nobody driving.
Yeah, I just had that promo in my head. Like I was like, that's where we're going, speed, but I don't know why it just clicked. I was
no, but that's correct, brother. You've got two huge companies Look, AEW does have the ability to be a huge company. It's got a lot of money backing it. Let's not get it twisted. Tony Khan and his old man have got fucking loads of dough. Yeah. And if like I say, if he's getting his inheritance now and his dad's saying, look, fuck it, do what you want to do now, have your little sort it out, do what you're doing. They're making a profit.
So your Royal Oats, kid.
Do it, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Go and do it. Yeah. Go and do what you're doing. They're making a profit off the pay-per-views or whatever, what have you. Fine, great. Yeah.
But you can't be that profitable week to week.
But they need, in order for long term for it to be even close to the behemoth that it could possibly be, they need to find the balance between popping the marks and getting new people involved, which means they need to stop the spoilers. They need to stop the backstage stuff and try and hide a little bit more of stuff. The rag sheets, brother, need to back off a little bit and bring a little bit of kayfabe back.
Kick them out. Yeah,
kick them out, bruv. Don't be telling them each and everything that's going on.
Your dirt sheets, guys, do not need to be anywhere near your locker rooms or your office.
No, bruv. That's correct. You know, at the end of the day, you need to keep a little bit of nuance. You need to keep that little bit of element of surprise, because if they were going to sign Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and there wasn't all this chat about it, that would have been fucking great, fantastic, because it would have actually been a surprise. But by all this time, all has gone and all this chat that's happened, now it's just a fucking, it's a dribble.
It's the worst kept secret.
Yeah, it's literally a dribble. It's not even a bust your nuts. It's a dribble.
So I gave myself a bit of time. I managed to watch Dynamite this week.
Are you all right? How was it?
I don't know what to, like, I know what to say because I've written it down, and I'm quite, it's quite what I feel is a valid argument about the show, which wasn't very good. And I'm not even talking about the Statlander and Nyla Rose match, which was fucking hideous. I'm talking, about the Elite. I'm talking about what happened there. I'm talking about Christian Cage. I'm talking about Jungle Boy. Are the Elite like the honky tonk man at this point? And bearing in mind, I watched this before Rampage, and obviously, and the 6-man came up, and it was, the Elite, with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega in the first match on the show. And also, I question why then, the honky tonk man don't get beat on TV. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And this match, it was okay. It was a 6-man with the Seidels and Dante Martin, Dante was the star of this match by far and wide. But then they jobbed Dante out. He's the one that takes the pin. Why couldn't one of the Seidel brothers take the pin?
Mm-hmm.
Why did it have to be Dante? Dante was showing flashes of brilliance. Why couldn't he have rolled up a buck?
But, bruv, you know why he couldn't have rolled up? You know why? Because, again, time and time again, the Young Bucks and Omega are genuinely holding any other talent down from them top spots. We can't ignore it anymore. People cannot ignore it anymore. They're not putting people over. They are always taking the limelight, fam.
It felt like even like the entrance, and that's just a giant love letter to themselves.
100%.
And it's not even me being like, it's heels. It's really good stuff. They're being heelish. It's like, oh fuck, how long till this is finished? This isn't good. I get to my next point on this is because after the match, Christian Cage comes out and says he's got a match on Rampage. He spoke to Tony, he spoke to, his pal, and he got himself a match on Rampage for the Impact World Championship. And that's great. I genuinely believe that this segment should have ended the show. This should have been it. This should have been your show ender. The
cliffhanger.
It should have been your cliffhanger, not what actually ended the show, which was Jericho and Wardlow.
Yeah.
It was poor. It wasn't very good. It was, and I'm not hating on Jericho on this, the 5 labors and all that shit. It's not very good. I've got to be honest, Jericho and Wardlow doesn't main event anywhere.
I mean, but again, bruv, let me tell you something. If they get to the end of these 5 labors, right, and MJF doesn't end up beating Jericho, then all of this has just been a massive wank fest to push Jericho, a 50-odd-year-old man, over one of their up-and-coming rising heels. Okay?
Yeah, Wardlow's he's on ice at the minute as well. Like,
that's the thing, bruv. Wardlow and MJF should be literally running rampant through that company. They should be.
I don't think they should. I think MJF has fallen off.
But why?
I don't think it's anything to do with the booking. I think he's kicking back. I think he's taking a step off. He's slowed down a bit. I generally don't think it's anything to do with the booking, because he's prominently featured and not wrestling, and his promos are, wake me up when it's finished.
Yeah, but maybe because, like I say, maybe he knows something we don't, bruv. Maybe he knows that it ain't gonna go nowhere, and ultimately, like I say, what please, like allow me for a minute, okay? And let me ask you a question, right? These 5 labors of Jericho, what's the point?
It's a good question. I wish I had the answer, but we've seen what it's come across. You brought out Juventud Guerrero, and they had a match which had a good finish, don't get me wrong, but the rest of it was questionable.
The Nick Gage match was fucking terrible.
I hated it.
It wasn't very good at all. Terrible.
The other one, Sean Spears.
The 5 labors of Jericho. What is the point? Okay, if anything, they should be building Jericho. They're building Jericho up to make him look fucking outstanding, and then, if anything, then MJF should.
A bit Hogan-esque, isn't it?
It's terrible, bro. It is. Let's not beat around the bush. It is. What is the point? And if it finishes in MJF beating him, then great. Then he can say, look, you did all these labors. You were looking strong, Chris. You were doing this, but I beat you. I beat you.
At the same time, when you look at it, you've had Jericho wrestling every week, MJF not.
Exactly.
And it's just...
Maybe
why did they not have 5 labors of each other? Like, why did Max not work 5 matches or 4 matches as well? In the
Exactly.
But again, there's not enough TV time, obviously.
But there's enough time for Jericho to have a fucking 20-minute match every week or whatever.
Yeah. The other thing, one of the other guys, like sticking Christian Cage in the spot that he's got as champion. We know Hangman is off TV. It's likely a family matter. He's about to have a child and all that stuff. So they definitely put him on ice, which is.
But he's been on ice for there's been up and down. They pinned
him on TV, and that was it. I think that was it for almost everyone that was watching. And said, yeah, he's definitely not in contention anymore. So they put Christian Cage in, and all you had to do was watch that segment when Christian came out, and then Jungle Boy's music hits, and you realize that Jungle Boy is probably more over than Christian. And you think, should that spot have been given to Jungle Boy, or should it really be given to Christian? Are we just going to keep pushing older guys?
I think some
invented too.
But this is a thing. But I mean, we got some spoilers. Christian won the Impact World Title from.
He did. Kenny does get beaten on TV, which makes my honky tonk man comment irrelevant at this point.
No, but do you know why? I genuinely think people in Impact probably said, look, let's be honest, like, this ain't really doing nothing for us having Kenny Omega hold our belt. We need to transition it. It needs to go back to Impact.
Yeah, and those titles need to go back to Impact a long time ago.
Yeah, they did, 100%. And who else really better to take them back to Impact than the former star who was huge in TNA, Christian Cage? He's going to get a huge pop when he goes back to Impact with that title. Fucking brilliant. All right.
Eventually loses it to someone. That's great.
Exactly. And that 100%. So I'm all right with that. Yeah. I'm all right with it being Christian because of his former links to Impact Wrestling, TNA Impact, etc. Fine. Great. Yeah. It's going to find its way back around the waist of someone in Impact. Brilliant.
Before we get to Rampage, I did have another problem, and I fucking hated this.
Go on, baby.
Everybody's favorite. You know, they say they call him the hardest working man in all of AEW and all this shit. QT fucking Marshall, get the fuck off my screen. You fucking lousy shit. You are no good. You can't cut a promo. You can't fucking work. Like, you are the epitome of a fucking, you're stealing a living. And he comes out on TV and he punches Tony Schiavone's kid in the gut. Like, what the fuck? This was a complete waste of a segment. It only to bring out Paul White, who choke slams one of his goons. I don't even know his name. Solo, maybe. It could have been, I think it was. But whatever, man. Like, anytime QT Marshall turns up on my screen, I'm fixing to turn it over. I think you've got nothing worthy to say. You are garbage. Like,
bro.
But you're Cody's mate, so there you go. You get a spot on TV.
But this is the thing. It's the fucking, you know, it should be called all nepotism wrestling, yeah, because you've got literally the elite who are all the fucking executive booking committee, basically. And you've got people like QT Marshall. There's a shoot interview, right, with Mr. Hughes, okay? It was possibly on Hannibal TV, right? He speaks about the Nightmare Factory training school in AEW, okay? And he speaks about how because he's got his own training school, and he spoke about how there was some guys there that went down that he trained, and you know, they've got praise everywhere else, and they go there and they literally get fucking jobbed by these people, and they get their reputation completely obliterated by taking just a million finishing moves from these people at the Nightmare Factory or certain specific guys and make them look like dog shit. And he ends up ringing up whoever he rang up and just said, what the fuck, man? Like, what are you doing? This guy had his great gimmick. You made him wrestle with his face paint and completely change his gimmick, which in the end he said was good, because then people, when he puts the face paint on, he's like a different guy. So he didn't really take the damage gimmick wise. But you know, we still getting to this point of the booking in AEW is not good enough. It's not.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
It's not good enough.
Yeah.
It's really not.
All this does is leads to a fucking match between Paul White and QT Marshall. Who's fucking paying to watch that?
No, and that's the thing. Yeah.
And I know this is something we bring up, but you must be on a fair amount of beak if you're sitting there excited about seeing QT Marshall and Paul White / Big Show work a fucking match.
Bruv, they're like that.
Yeah, just fucking shoveling it in.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean? And they're popping over the fact that they had the same singer on his music than they had for his original Big Show music. This is the prime example of popping the marks.
Elite pettiness, that is.
Yeah.
That's elite pettiness.
It is popping the boys, popping the marks. You're not ever gonna fucking expand your viewership. You know, I mean, maybe we should try and get some beak to these guys, and you know, get a little round table discussion and just, you know, hand them the mirror. They fucking get that down, yeah. Right now, let's fucking talk. You know, let's yeah, you know, let's fucking get them on the beak. They're clearly not on the beak, or they're on. You know, it's a fine line.
So yeah, I mean, we spoke about the Labours thing with Jericho. Let's get onto Rampage. They open the show. They have Kenny Omega and Christian Cage for the Impact World title. We have already said that Christian Cage wins it. Kenny Omega takes a great bump from the finisher onto the chair. I will say.
Right. No, good.
Really good.
But I'm not being funny. That's your fucking job. Do a job.
Yeah, I mean,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's the first job you've done in 2 years, so fucking do it well.
700 odd days,
yeah. So great. If you're gonna do a job, do it properly. Fair play. Take the bump. Fucking make it look sick. You did it. Good job.
Yeah, we'll give him that small piece of credit.
100%. But that's what you've got to do. You know, fucking hell.
Miro smashes Fuego del Sol.
But the whole point about Fuego del Sol, when if he wins, he gets a contract, but he lost and ended up getting one anyway.
He lost and then he got a contract. So, like, I mean, you look at it like that and you're like, oh, okay, so you're just going to give him a contract anyway.
Yeah, that's right. So what was the fucking point in booking it as a fucking...
Yeah, it's a bad story to have. It's almost like...
Terrible booking.
It's almost like the retirement match and then they come back next week. Like, it's...
Like a hair match between two bald guys. You know what I'm saying?
Judy Bagwell on a pole.
You get me? Fucking silver dollars on a pole.
She was never on a pole. She was on a fucking forklift.
That's right.
It annoys me that she was never hung from the pole. Yeah, the Carson City silver dollar on a pole match.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. Amazing.
We loved it.
The greatest matches. And then the main event, which was Britt Baker in her hometown against Red Velvet. And Britt Baker was over, like, you know, like Jesus in the church. She was so, like, they calling it Britsburg and all that. And she I mean, I think she's really been improving. She's really good. The only problem with that is worthy challengers after that. She's already worked with Thunder Rosa. She's already worked with a few others. I'm guessing they're just keeping Jade Cargill out of the ring at this point. I don't know if he can work. Like, it seems like not if they're not going to put her on TV. Like,
I'm still not seeing. There was a discussion on Twitter recently that we were partly involved in,
of course, yeah.
To do with Britt Baker, and I agree with. I can't remember who it was who was saying that they're just still not sold on her.
That would be at Just in Time 211.
That's right. So just in time,
you, Justin.
Bro. Shout out to you, Justin, because you know I agree, bruv. I agree. I'm not. I don't get what people are seeing in her. The only thing I can say is, yes, she probably is the most charismatic female wrestler that they have on AEW.
Yeah.
But you know, it doesn't butter my parsnip. You get what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't. Yes, she's all right on the stick. I'll say she's good on the stick. She's all right.
That's the first time on this show we've had doesn't butter my parsnip. That is, I mean, that's British beyond belief, isn't it? People have actually called us super British before, but now we're buttering parsnips. So
we're buttering parsnips, mate. You know what I mean? She doesn't quite butter my parsnip. So, you know, I can see the hype in it, but your head of the table is only as good as the matches they're having and the interactions they're having with others. Yes. So if you've not got really a plethora of people to be vying, you know, what would be, you know, the AEW women's division just isn't good enough at the moment either. They don't, you know, they don't even have a women's tag team championship.
Kiera Hogan, you know, Kiera Hogan and Hikaru Shida are going to go at it on Dark or something like that. And I was like, I saw that come up on my phone, like maybe even this afternoon, and thought, oh, what do we not trust about these two to work a decent match on Rampage or on Dynamite? Yeah. Like, Hikaru Shida was your last women's champion, like, before Britt. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Don't put that. Don't demean it by putting it on Dark. It's Kiera Hogan's first match in AEW, which he left. Yeah. And you're going to put it on Dark? I'm like, nah. Interest is gone. I'm not going to watch it.
Like I say, but what basis have they put Britt Baker on this pedestal? Because she had that match
they're using the death match and what have you as I mean, she also had, what did she have, that like that dentist's match or whatever, like in the office or something with.
Yeah, but that was terrible against Big Swole.
Like,
it was fucking
I'm
terrible.
Not basing it on that death match because I didn't like the death match thing she had with Thunder Rosa. I didn't think it was that good. I didn't enjoy it. That's not where I'm basing this on. I'm basing this on the way she's carrying herself. It's it's championship. Like, she is carrying herself as the, the top guy. She's, that's not, obviously she's not a guy, but she's carrying herself way above everyone else.
Yeah.
Comes across as championship. Like, everything comes across as main event with Britt at the minute. And I'm all for it. Like, let her keep getting better. Let her keep working main events. Let her, working Rampage main event is a good start. Actually having, two women work a main event on a bigger show is brilliant.
You know what they on the opposite of the men's title scene, what the AEW to build up that women's title, what they needed a Mickie James. They needed
Awesome Kong.
An Awesome Kong. They needed a Beautiful People. They needed a well-established, world-famous women's wrestler or group of them to push that title, and then whoever then beats that person has that accolade. I just think they've put the title and they're pushing Britt a little bit too early.
They chucked it on. Who was it on? Riho,
on Riho, on Shida.
Yeah, like, I mean, Nyla Rose, God love her, but
yeah,
it's bad. Like, her and Statlander's match was feeble, man. Like, I really hated it, and I was sitting there watching it, and I was shaking my head, like, going, "Come on, this is not the best you two have got. Like, it's not. I know it's not. Like, but again, they worked 3 minutes. Like, it was pointless.
It's like you. The thing with Britt Baker that annoys me is they're trying to push her as a heel face.
Pick a side. Yeah, I get you.
Pick a side, bruv. What I would.
You couldn't do that this week because she was in her hometown. And she's too over in her hometown.
Yeah, of course she is, because she's in all their news.
Kurt into Pittsburgh to try and heal him up, it ain't working.
No, that's right. No, but I mean, I think in general, I think what they need is a real heel.
She should be a heel because she's got Rebel like running interference right on, and she's also got Jamie Hayter now working with her. Like, she should be a heel anywhere else but Pittsburgh.
Exactly.
I'm guaranteeing that the next time she walks out somewhere, she'll get cheered.
Yeah. But this is the thing. It's like,
you need to get rid of Rebel. You need to get rid of Hayes. She needs to be on her own as a.
That's right.
One sort of.
Read the what
champion. Yeah.
What I would say is, she needs a real heel to come in and steal that championship off her, right?
And then
and then have her chase it as a face. Have her get rid of, the fucking Stooges and that, yeah.
The friendship with Tony Schiavone doesn't help either.
What's that?
The friendship with Tony Schiavone does not help. It's too babyface. Like, I know, like, we lived in a world of grey areas during Attitude, and Steve Austin could do whatever the fuck he wanted, but this is a different world, and it's not.
It's very rare now. Yeah, you can't. When it organically happens. When people take a liking to a heel and but it's different now. But they're going for that. They're trying too much for it, and it doesn't. Like I say, my parsnip ain't buttered. It needs. They need better women, more established women. I'll be happy to see like people like your Velvet Sky or someone like that, or like Mickie James, or someone like that. Coming in. Better women. You need better women. Not that, in time it couldn't be great, but, I'm coming from a time of, my magical time of women's wrestling was TNA knockouts, where you had Gail Kim, you had Mickie James, you had the Beautiful People, you had Victoria, you had Awesome Kong, you had some fucking great women's wrestlers, you had a great roster. ODB. Fucking Brit. Imagine ODB in AEW. Come on, man.
Pounding beers with Hangman Page at the bottom.
Dude. Come on, man.
Itself. Of course it does.
Of course it does.
But
come on, man.
Switching gears, the WWE's women's division is still going guns blazing with, it looks like they're doing the Sasha and Bianca rematch at SummerSlam. And again, I'm all for it. Let's see it. Let's have it.
Light years ahead, bro.
Yeah.
if you think AEW's women's division or their champion is better than WWE, then you're a lost cause.
Yeah, I mean, granted, on Raw the situation's a little different with Nikki ASH and that whole Charlotte thing, and I don't know, like that one doesn't click for me. But
no, I mean, but what's happening with
championship definitely does.
What's happening with Charlotte? Because I saw that she was at the AAA show. You know,
she's with her man. That's all that is. Like,
and her dad.
Yeah, like there's no one should look any deeper into that right now. They should just see that as someone being there for someone else.
But apparently the Charlotte, North Carolina show was apparently sold that she was going to be at it, and then she wasn't there.
Card subject to change, or
yeah.
as one of our wrestling journalists would say, plans change. That's all they say when they get something wrong on their rag sheets. They say
they're dinosaurs, brother.
Yeah. I guess we're just going to skip some of the other stuff like Darby Allin, because, I don't really want to. It's not something I really want to. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, well, what's funny? Let's talk about something else. You're not going to like it. There's talk of the Forbidden Door bringing in Will Ospreay into AEW.
Oh, he cut a promo about Forbidden Doors and leaving keys under the mat and all that. What was it, a Drake song or something? Like, leave it. Like,
leave it out.
Excuse me.
But again, but they're only appealing.
Let Will Ospreay turn up wherever the fuck he wants. Let him turn up and do AEW stuff. It just means that you'll have. Again, it's not mainstream.
No, they're only appealing again to a very small demographic. They're popping the marks.
Like signing Jay White to Impact, it doesn't mean a thing.
That's the thing. That's exactly it, because they're talking about Jay White going into AEW, and Will Ospreay and Tanahashi.
See, now for me, Tanahashi, bigger name than the pair of them. Tanahashi's been doing it for donkey's years. I'd love to see him get a shot in AEW or WWE. Impact, probably not, because I don't watch it that much. But
no, is it?
If he turned up on Raw, SmackDown, hell, if he even turned up in NXT, I'd be all over it. I would definitely watch and see what was going on.
Yeah.
Even hell, if he turned up on AEW, I'd make sure I tuned in to see him work a match with whoever. But you're telling me that, Will Ospreay is going to come into AEW and work a few flips with Matt Sydal, and like, I ain't bothered.
Yeah, no, that's right. Who cares?
Cool. Like,
there's no stories.
Yes, those same fans that turn up to the same shows at Daily's Place or whatever will cheer the fuck out of it, because they know it, because they clearly watch New Japan. They clearly watch, a little bit of Noah or All Japan or whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
But, the average casual fan does not watch New Japan. And that should be on the wall of everyone's office in any wrestling company in America. Average, you're not bringing in casual dollars, for Will Ospreay, for Jay White, for even for Tama Tonga or anyone like that. You need to,
Yeah, but also pissing off.
On the other side of the coin, there's only one way to build them, and that's to bring them in and have them do something. But I get that too. Like, I'm no idiot.
But again, pissing off mainstream sponsors also is not going to expand your audience.
It's just the Domino's thing.
Yeah. Because, and you've got Moxley saying, oh, fucking lighten up. That's a mainstream sponsor to your product that is bringing some, I say, legitimacy to your, they
bring everything. They bring, legitimacy. They bring sometimes eyes to the product. They, you could even cross promote and do all sorts of things. The EW pizza could have been a thing, with God knows what on it. But instead, they had that toolbox gauge using a pizza cutter. on Jericho, and it's, I mean, for what? There was no build. It was garbage. It was crap.
There's no build, and it went nowhere. It's gone nowhere. It's a throwaway.
Out of AEW now, isn't he? That's it.
Exactly. It's one of them ones where it was Moxley probably getting a payday for his boy.
He can go back to chatting online to Cardona and arguing about who's tougher. You know, I again, not something I care about. Again,
yeah, it's nepotism, getting a payday, a decent payday. Moxley probably getting.
I can understand getting your boys a payday. Like, of course, if there's a lot of cheddar to be had, you're going to pass it around a little bit. But
this is another question though. Are these people milking Tony Khan, and is he completely fucking blind to it?
I mean, old Brutus got a few paydays, didn't he? Far too many paydays. No, Lanny Poffo was paid for God knows how long in WCW. This is nothing new. This isn't a surprise.
No,
to people, and you will constantly see people getting paid and not being the right person for the job. And that will never stop. That just won't stop. That will always happen. That's never going to change it. Even in real walks of life, in real jobs, people who aren't necessarily the best person for the job getting the job because they know someone in the higher offices. That's a thing.
Yeah.
That's, it happens world over.
Yep.
So we just got to ride that one out, I'm afraid. But such is life, man.
That's it, bro. But we when we like stuff and we think it is good, we will say so. When we think stuff is whack, we will also say so.
Of course we will. Like I said, like Dante Martin looked brilliant this week on Dynamite until they jobbed him, which I felt was the wrong move. I just think if you're going to build someone and you've got a real chance at making something, real homegrown, the guy's 20, 21, if that, you've got a real chance there. He was doing some real good stuff in the ring. And then you give him about 1 billion V triggers, knees and all that shit. And, it just felt like an ego massage for the elite.
Yes. Well, what does that? Yeah, because what does that do to build him up to make him look strong? And still, he can still take the L and look strong, can't he?
Yeah.
They're supposed to be heels.
They should have hit him.
They can do it in a different way.
They hit him with a weapon. If they were actually going to job him, they should have hit him with something.
Yeah.
Objects, not, let's all use our knee on him and then hit him with the one-winged angel and all that shit. Like, let's beat him clean. It's just like the same thing to Hangman.
Yeah.
And that sucked as well.
Exactly, because it is all just a circle jerk of the people in charge putting themselves over and fucking fuck everybody else. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what it's always been.
Before we start to wrap up, is there anything else? Because my notes are running dry on this.
There was, let me refer to Uncle Chris's magic box.
Chris's corner. Yeah, let's have it.
Let's have a look and see, because the main thing that I wanted to talk about was, it's the way that the whole, I'm trying. I'm really trying, Jordan. I'm trying to like AEW as much as the fanboys like it. I'm trying.
Watching it. We're giving them a number.
I'm buying their fucking merchandise. Yeah. I'm trying to like it. But
I almost bought a Luchasaurus figure, but then I saw it was sold out. So that was as far as it got for me. Because it looks like a cool figure. That's all.
It's the gaping holes. Let's not pretend that WWE is perfect. It's not. It's far from it. And there's a lot of stuff that needs changing in it. Fucking hell, they need a complete top-down reshuffle. They need more wrestling people involved. They need to let the talent have more involvement in what's going on.
They need a better producer than Kevin Dunn, Mr. Camera Cut himself.
That's right.
Jesus.
You know,
that hurts my eyes when he's camera cutting 50 times in like, less than 45 seconds. It's fucked up. He must have some sort of tick in his brain that's telling him cut it now. Like, just someone get his finger off the button for a minute.
But yeah, it's these gaping holes though in AEW. They could be so much better. The booking could be so much better. They could be pushing their homegrown stars or the lesser known stars. They could be making them, creating them. You can have a mix of already established somewhere else stars, big names coming in, but you've got to then use them correctly to build up your guys. You can't just have these groups. I mean, at this point, the Elite are just like the NWO. They're just literally just booking themselves to fucking everything.
It's rough, and it doesn't last forever though. Am I right in saying that it won't last forever? That we might have a shot at something turning around?
Well, I mean, the only way it's going to change is if you get people who haven't got ulterior motives and don't benefit directly from the booking doing the booking. You have to have non-wrestlers who are non-active roster people involved in the booking. You can't have people holding all the titles doing the booking week in, week out, because ultimate power corrupts.
It's a very territorial, like territory-based sort of system, isn't it? Where your booker and your owners would always have championships, and it's like Jerry Lawler in Memphis.
Yeah, but it ain't Memphis, bruv.
Yeah, I know.
It's not. It's a syndicated national product. It's not your fucking. It's not the territory days.
I'm trying to give them excuses. I don't know.
I know you are, but we ain't there, bruv.
No,
it's not that. It's not the case where you've got the owner of the territory like building up people and keeping his spot, and just giving people crumbs. It's not. That's what's happening in AEW at the moment. It's literally the booking committee are holding all the fucking limelight, and the other guys are not even getting the crumbs. They're not even, who is, tell me a homegrown star apart from Britt Baker that has really got any kind of push.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah, what was he getting pushed for?
Well, yeah, they're going to go into the pay-per-view, him and Luchasaurus against the Bucks. I imagine the Bucks are going to win.
Yeah, so therefore,
I'd love for it to be different. I know, Jungle Boy won the Battle Royal. He got that shot at Kenny Omega. He didn't win. He looked good in the process. I mean, that's the only thing they have. I don't feel like they've spoiled is Jungle Boy, and I mean, I could do without Marco Stunt, but he's part of the package at the minute. Luchasaurus is perfectly fine as, the muscle. But yeah, I really think Jungle Boy is money, and they need to push him closer to, I think, push him towards Miro next would be, if they don't win those tag titles, which I don't think they will.
I mean, in the real world, can you see Jungle Boy beating Miro though?
Same real world. Could you have seen Shawn Michaels beating Diesel? Could you have seen, I think Jungle Boy has, I'm not saying he's anywhere near Shawn Michaels level. Let's clear that up before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a completely different.
He's got that underdog spirit thing going for him, and could he beat Miro? No, maybe. Yeah, you might be right. It might not be.
That's the thing.
He probably looks more competitive against Kenny Omega than he does Miro.
You get what I'm saying?
Maybe the titles should flip over. Maybe Miro.
Yeah. If you're going to have rankings and you're going to have it look like a legitimate competitive thing, you're not going to have Jungle Boy going over Miro. He's supposed to be the beast. He's supposed to be he'd fucking eat him for breakfast, bruv.
Who's going over Miro then?
But exactly.
Is it going to be Moxley?
Yeah.
Or Jericho?
Yeah, it will. Of course it will.
And this is the other thing. I think,
or Joey Janela, possibly. Because they're playing it now that he's turned bad and he's going to be, because they said on the commentary as well, if he goes back to his bad ways, because they had Eddie Kingston on commentary, he's like, look, if he goes back to his bad ways, then there's a lot of people in AEW that are going to be in trouble.
Oh dear. Well, that's the other one, Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston, man can cut a promo. Man's really good at a promo. His ring attire needs a little fixing. He sometimes dresses a bit funny, but could he be the one to stop Miro?
Possibly.
And he's a big guy. He's got, that street tough sort of thing going for him. Plenty of things, plenty of ways to do it, plenty of things to do there. But I mean, yeah, let's see what happens come what was it, September 5th, All Out. Is that what it is? Chicago.
You've got
CM Punk's debut. Who knows?
You got Aleister Black as well in the mix.
Well, he kicked Cody. He kicked Cody's head off. Cody was doing this ridiculous retirement thing, or something that looked like a retirement thing. Black kicked his head off, and it's like, and then they didn't put him on TV this week. They did. Yeah. They did a vignette. They didn't have him in a match. They didn't have him come out and talk. Like, I granted, not everyone can be on TV in a 2-hour show. Not everyone can be chasing championships. But if you're going to treat Cody as your star, and Malachi pins him with the boot on the chest or whatever, he goes up the rankings. He puts himself in the mix. But here we are again, talking about rankings and shit, and it just doesn't work.
No, that's right. It's very weird.
The only time it worked was when WCW, did it, and they had the US champion as the number one contender always. He was always the number one contender.
Yeah.
Everyone else was 2, 3, 4, and 5. But who knows?
Mate.
Before we head out, I'd like to give a couple of shout outs to a few friends of ours. These are good people. These are wonderful people. These are people you should listen to or watch or say hello to. So if you bear with me, Chris, I even wrote them down so I didn't fuck it up.
No, do it, bro. Go for it, man. I've co-signed.
In the past.
No, we co-signed this shit, man. It's good.
Yeah. So let's talk about our good friend TW Takes podcast. Everyone knows Bishop.
Bishop.
We love Bishop, and we talk to Bishop a lot, and we have been on his show, and this would be the open invite to Bishop to come on this show and talk about shit. Yeah,
dude, do it, Bishop. I know you're listening right now. Yeah, we'll all get on the beak. Yeah, and we'll all just chat some shit, bro. Yeah, you can have your walkie-talkie, just if your little one's in the garden or whatever.
Yeah, and anytime, bro. Anytime you're ready, we'll do one of these, and we'll push. We might even break 35 in the rankings.
The forbidden door is open.
Door is open. So let's get this. Let's smash out these shout outs real quick. Just in time to 11. Really nice guy, really good guy. Love listening to him whenever he's on a show. Shout out to our good friends over at 90s Wrestling Pod. Now it's Wrestling on the Rocks show, but it's at WOTR the show. So go follow them. Frank at LMW Podcast. Now this is a good friend of ours on Instagram who I don't really know his name, but his name comes up as Paolo Von Marshall. And he always checks in and always makes sure we're doing okay if we don't seem to put out a show like within a couple of weeks, because he seems to enjoy listening to us. So
yeah,
Mr. Von Marshall, Paolo, hopefully your name is like Paul or something, but I don't know. Like, shout out to you. We hope you're doing well. Other people, I've only got 3 more because, let's do it. Jofo in the Ring, our Canadian brothers who do a really nice show over there. Like, they always seem to, whenever they get Jeremy Prophet on the show, they do some really good stuff. And Jeremy can cut a promo too, which is always awesome. Shout out to our man Cactus, Matt. Where Are You, Cactus.
All day long. Twice on Sundays.
Twice on Sundays. And last but not least, at Bookermania 89, that is George Booker on the, What Do You Call It podcast?
Yeah.
What Do You Call It? I think that's the one. And those are some shout outs just to some people that you could go and listen to or watch or whatever or follow. Apart from that, I mean, what else is there to say?
Don't know, man. From Hertfordshire's #1 wrestling podcast.
I forgot one. Eleanor Wrestling. She always puts a comment out on our YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
Always, showing some love, and I can't forget that. And thank you. And sorry, I almost missed you. And yeah, that's it. Hertfordshire's #1 wrestling podcast with the best Chris in all of wrestling podcasts.
Damn right.
Like I said, I mean that. And if anyone that takes it the wrong way, go fuck yourself. I don't.
That's right. I'm like the Highlander. There can be only one. Yeah. Yes.
Hell yeah.
End of.
Thank you for listening in this week. Thank you for checking in. Thank you for.
Oh, I love to. We've got to shout out Max, not the Hulk Hogan as well. Let's not miss off Max. Sexy Max. We got. Do you know what I mean? We've got to shout out Max, not the Hulk Hogan, all day long, twice on Sundays. That fucking ham and egger. We've got to fucking shout him out.
So Chris is implying that Max is a jobber. So let's.
When he wrestles me, he was always jobbing, and he knows it.
Take a deep dive into that one week. Jobber to the stars, Max, not the Hulk Hogan.
Trust me, bruv. Jobber to the stars.
Again, we can't thank you enough for pushing us, giving us the push this week and putting us in the Apple Wrestling UK podcast charts. I know it might sound a bit like fuckery, but that means something to us. That means something. That means that we're not doing it for nothing. It means that we're actually, people are listening, people are checking in, people are seeing if we're actually worth it. We'll probably be way out of the charts next week.
That's cool, man. It's
and you know where to find us by now. It's everywhere you listen to podcasts. If it's not on somewhere you listen to podcasts, let us know,
and we'll get it on there.
Yeah, we'll make sure we find that. If you're listening on, some two-way radio out New Zealand /Nauru/Fiji, we'll find a way. We always do.
We'll record an audio version of it, like our podcast one, and we'll send it via WhatsApp. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Just let us know. We'll start a WhatsApp group and we'll fucking stream it.
The brain dread.
Trust me, you know that. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hit us up on YouTube. Hit us up on any of these other things. Podbean, Spotify, Deezer, Castbox, Amazon Podcasts. Chris is about to show me a wrestling figure. I think it's Little Max.
Please book me better. Please.
That's an open message to Tony Khan.
Please book him better. MJF is your fucking superstar, bro. Book him better. I hope this is all building up to something good, and then not for him to have a good match with Jericho, but then Jericho just to win again. Just so everyone can sing Judas with their cocks in their hands.
Oh, they're not allowed to play Judas this week.
Why?
It's part of the storyline. No, there's going to be no Judas on this.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So, see how that goes. But like you said, thank you for sticking with it. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for all being as you are. And, remember to like, comment, subscribe, follow.
But also, just very quickly, check out our last shoot interview that we had with Jameson.
Oh, yeah.
Real great one.
To John for coming on and talking about everything from fucking UB40 to wrestling. Like, that's right. That was, the UB40 thing was immense in its own right. And we've got some cracking interviews coming up. We really have. We've got 2 real good ones lined up that I'm really excited about. So I need to actually get in contact with someone because we're getting to that time in August. So we've got some real cracking stuff coming up. So like JB saying, thanks for subscribing, liking, checking us out. We love it. So as long as everything goes to plan, we our next episode will be the Battle Royal at the Albert Hall.
Yes.
Everyone anyone would have had a Silver Vision fucking video of that shit.
That's right.
You know it's great. We know it's great. We're gonna have a lot of fun talking about it. So
100%, baby.
From your good friends JB and Chris, take care, everyone. We'll see you next time.